All right, hello everybody. So today we are doing our Throw Together Thursday video, and I'm actually going to be using the exact same card base that I had used and we had done our split embossing the other day. This was making our own paper with our inks. If you remember how we did that, this looks really pretty. And obviously I did some more butterflies, so we're going to cut a few of those up. And then I've got my foil embossing here. So we're going to first start off with our foil embossing. And so if you remember how we did this, we put a square on to our foil. So I've got some of our tear and tape. All right, so if you remember, our foil is doubled. So, and then we're gonna cut those corners off, and then we are going to fold these parts down. The tear and tape I absolutely love because it's so easy. You don't even need a scissor or anything to cut it. It just tears within 2 seconds, which I love. And what we're actually going to do today to make this even more fun is we are going to take the exact same embossing folder that we used for our card base, which is our Distress 3D Tile embossing folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same technique. I'm going to do it the split embossing on this, but we're going to do it on the debossed side instead. So flipping my embossing folder over, and we're gonna make this happen. Okay, it shifted on me a little bit, so I'm gonna try this because I think it worked out easily last time. And if not, we'll just restart. But I'm gonna go through it again, and I'm gonna washi tape it this time to make sure it doesn't move on me. Perfect. All right, it corrected itself, which I love. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have some fun here, and we're going to match this up with that split. So I want to make sure that that is where I line my embossing folder up this time. I mean, to be honest, I could have just like done the whole thing because I was going to cover that one part of the foil, but I'm showing you how to do this technique again. So, yay, that looks so cool. All right. So yeah, use washi tape so it doesn't move on you. All right, so this is going to end up being adhered down just like that. So let's do that right away. And I will say, I do really like the contrast of the embossed versus debossed. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it looks really cool. All right, isn't that so pretty? Okay, so now I'm just gonna take an extra scrap piece of paper here. Let's cut it down. All right, perfect. So we've got our little sentiment spot here, which I really like. So we'll find a sentiment stamp before we do that. But our next thing is to cut out these butterflies that we created last time. So here we go. All right, so I cut most of them. I didn't cut all of them yet, but I really do like these tiny little ones, but I just love how these 3 butterflies absolutely pop on this. So let's grab in that stamp set. And it says, time to celebrate, in case you need me, I'm here. Hello, happy birthday, so thankful for you. So we're going to use one of these sentiments to stamp this. And this is the Beautiful Butterflies stamp set from Stampin' Up. I kind of love the in case you need me, I'm here. All right, I'm pulling in our gorgeous grape because that's what we helped to create these butterflies. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to season this. I actually don't know where my Versamat is at the moment, so we're just going to stamp this. All right, just like that. I'm going to just tape this down normally. I'm putting 2 strips because it is going over the foil, remember? So I showed you how to do that technique again, but remember I am covering my whole foil piece. So if you wanted to just put it through your embossing machine once, that is fine. But in case you need me, I'm here. And you still see that split in the other one. So we've got that like that. And now we have our 3 butterflies. I will say, as I was cutting up this paper, I was so sad because I was like, oh, it's so pretty. Like, I love how we created this paper. So these are actually all of my dimensionals that I've gotten throughout either our paper pumpkins and things like that. So I've kind of just kept them all here, which I really love how many you get and how much extra you get through all of the Stampin' Up! Kits. So we're going to just use one of each of these into the middle, because when I'm doing butterflies especially, I like how their wings kind of can have their own free form. And just because I have our new business cards here, aren't they so pretty? I love them. And they go really well with this card. All right, so let's put our butterflies now onto our card. Put the most sparkly one right next to the "If you need me, I'm here." And we like to do everything in 3s. So we've got that like that. And let's see if we have any pretty gems that we can use here. These are 2-tone sparkle gems. We actually do have some of these in our store. So if you would like any, I'm not sure if they're still online, but if they're not, we do have some in the store, so let us know. And we're just gonna put 1 gem next to each of the butterflies. Once again in that 3 pattern. So we kind of get that feeling. Let me see. I actually want to move this one. No. Do I like that better? No, I like it up here. Still with this butterfly. Or, ooh, what if we put it... Ooh, I like that. Right in the middle of that one. Gets a little bit lost, but it's still pretty. And my eye still gets drawn to it. So, all right. So that is our Throw It Together Thursday with our last 3 techniques. And once again, I mean, this is an absolutely beautiful stamp. And it actually has like extra butterfly wings too. So you could, you know, stamp some really pretty things with this. It did have a thin cut. So we did not get it, but if you got it, you could always use the thin cut on these too. But isn't this super, super pretty? All right. That's Throw It Together Thursday.